Imagine the shockwaves across the auto industry when a CEO steps on stage and confirms that their most secretive, most talked about engine isn't just a rumor, it's real. That is exactly what Mercedes has done. The company has finally revealed that the YASA Flux engine exists. An engine once whispered about in hushed tones is now front and center. This isn't just any motor. Early reports claim it is so powerful and so radically different that giants like Tesla, BYD, and Toyota could soon be losing sleep. If this engine makes its way into production cars, the entire game, petrol, diesel, and even today's electric batteries, could be flipped on its head. But the big question remains, what makes this engine so special? Is it truly the game changer the industry has been waiting for, or is it just another flashy promise destined to fade away? If it really delivers, could Tesla's EV dominance finally be under threat? One thing is certain. Revolutions in car technology do not just appear overnight. They are born from years of research, hidden experiments, and carefully guarded strategies. The YASA Flux engine is no different. Many assume it surfaced suddenly, but in reality, Mercedes has been quietly working on it for years out of the spotlight, with no grand claims and no hype, just relentless work behind the scenes. Let's rewind. Between 2010 and 2015, the EV wave exploded and Tesla proved with its early models that electric cars were not just the future, they were already here. Mercedes, watching closely, knew one thing: if they wanted to stay relevant, betting only on batteries was not enough. They had to reinvent the motor itself. That is when their eyes landed on a small but brilliant British company, YASA. This startup was already experimenting with axial flux motors, and their early prototypes hinted at a technology that could completely reshape the industry. Mercedes saw the potential, stepped in with support, and by 2019, they took full control of YASA.
That move laid the foundation for what is now being called one of the most disruptive engines in modern automotive history. From the outside, it looked like a simple business deal, but in reality, this was the step that laid the foundation of the YASA Flux engine. Mercedes poured millions of dollars into the project, gave YASA full funding, and put hundreds of engineers to work day and night.
Over the past decade, this quiet partnership transformed into one of Mercedes' boldest innovations. The company kept the project so secret that even industry experts had no clue. People assumed Mercedes was just focused on luxury EVs, but behind closed doors, they were building an engine that could shift the direction of the auto industry. The second big factor in this master plan was timing. Mercedes never rushed to launch the technology. They knew that if they released an incomplete or weak product, companies like Tesla or BYD would ridicule it immediately. So they tested it thoroughly with thousands of hours of driving simulations and experiments in every condition until they were fully confident. Only then did they announce it to the world.
This move shows how much Mercedes has learned from Tesla. Tesla enters the market with a lot of noise, but Mercedes kept quiet, waited for the right moment, and then struck. This is their master plan. Say less, do more.
So, what is the YASA Flux engine? Think about it. Whenever we talk about cars, the first thing that comes to mind is the engine. Once petrol and diesel ruled the roads, then the era of electric cars took over. But today, the name making the most headlines is the YASA Flux engine. Understand this. Electric motors work on the interaction of electricity and magnets. Normal electric motors, which we call permanent magnet or induction motors, are thick and bulky. They take up more space and weigh a lot more. But the magic of the YASA Flux engine is that it is very small, lightweight, and extremely powerful. Its design is called axial flux. Now, what does axial flux mean? Alright, let's put it in simple words. A normal motor rotates like a cylinder, while an axial flux motor rotates like a flat disc. In other words, instead of being a thick cylinder, this motor is like a thin round plate. The same question is being raised today about Mercedes's YASA Flux engine. From the information that has come out so far, it is clear that the Flux engine will currently be installed only in luxury and high-performance cars. The biggest reason for this is its initial cost. Being a new technology, its production cost is high, and companies would like to install it first in those vehicles where the price is already high. Now let's talk about the challenges of manufacturing. The design of the Flux engine is as unique as it is difficult to make. Companies have been manufacturing ordinary motors for decades, but the production of an axial flux motor is completely new. It requires very precise magnets and coils, and it is not easy to connect and balance these machines.
Along with this comes the stress of raw materials and supply chain. Flux engines require rare earth elements such as neodymium magnets. Their supply is already limited to China and a few countries. If the demand for flux engines increases, the shortage of these metals may grow further. This will increase prices and put pressure on companies. To deal with this problem, Mercedes will have to find new suppliers, and perhaps also pay more attention to recycling technology.
Now, the question arises, when and how will the YASA Flux Engine arrive in future cars? Mercedes is currently preparing to bring it in its luxury sports cars and high-performance models. Flux engines can be included in vehicles like their AMG series. Its advantage in SUVs will be that despite being a heavy vehicle, the Flux engine will give more torque and more power, making the driving experience of the SUV even more fun. At the same time, the use of flux engines in sports cars will make them capable of competing with vehicles like Tesla's Model S Plaid.
Flux engines can also bring a big change in trucks and commercial vehicles. Heavy vehicles need more power and torque. Flux engines deliver more power despite being lighter, which means that electric trucks and buses will hit the roads with more range and power than before.
Looking ahead, the potential applications for the YASA Flux engine extend beyond passenger vehicles. The principles of this motor could revolutionize other forms of transportation. Imagine electric aircraft with lighter, more powerful propulsion systems enabling longer flight times, or maritime vessels achieving greater efficiency with compact electric engines. The technology could even find its way into industrial machinery and renewable energy systems, such as more efficient wind turbine generators, amplifying its impact beyond the automotive sector. Imagine electric aircraft with lighter, more powerful propulsion systems enabling longer flight times, or maritime vessels achieving greater efficiency with compact electric engines. The technology could even find its way into industrial machinery and renewable energy systems, such as more efficient wind turbine generators, amplifying its impact beyond the automotive sector. However, for this future to materialize, the industry must navigate a significant transitional period. Carmakers with decades of investment in traditional radial flux motor production lines will face the difficult decision of when and how to retool their factories. This shift represents not just a technological upgrade, but a massive capital investment. The success of the YASA Flux engine will ultimately be determined by a combination of performance, cost, and reliability over time. While the initial specifications are impressive, the true measure of a groundbreaking technology is its durability and consistency through years of use in diverse conditions around the world. It must prove itself not only on test tracks, but on congested city streets and in extreme climates, from freezing winters to scorching summers. Consumer trust in this new technology will be built one reliable mile at a time. In conclusion, the revelation of the YASA Flux engine marks a pivotal moment. It represents a bold bet on a new direction for electric propulsion, challenging the status quo and pushing the entire industry forward. Whether it becomes the universal standard or a high-performance niche, its very existence has already accelerated innovation. The coming years will be a critical test, watched closely by engineers, competitors, and consumers alike. The race for the future of electric mobility has just entered a new and exciting phase. If we look at the picture, after 2030, the Flux engine could become the new standard of the EV industry. Just like today, every company uses lithium-ion batteries in its cars. In the coming time, every company could move towards motor technology like Flux. It is possible that in the coming 7 to 8 years, this technology will become so common that even affordable electric cars will start getting Flux engines. But here a big question arises. Is this really the future of the EV industry, or just another corporate promise? The history of the auto industry shows that many times companies talk big, but their technology does not turn out to be as effective once it enters production and the market. The real test of the Flux engine will also be when it is fitted in the vehicles of everyday customers and runs on the roads. The real test of the Flux engine will also be when it is fitted in the vehicles of everyday customers and runs on the roads. So, now, the decision is yours. Do you believe that the Flux engine will really change the future of electric vehicles, or will it fade away like other technologies in a few years? What is your opinion? Tell us in the comments, and yes, thanks for staying till the end. Do not forget to subscribe to our channel to see such amazing and true stories.